Absolutely.
Namaste, good evening. Welcome to another interesting episode of Turiya Talks Season 7. Today we have with us Mr. Amitesh Banerjee.
Hi,
Sir, yes, welcome to Turiya Talks, sir.
my pleasure.
Sir is a passionate, result-driven professional with decades of multi-country experience in marketing, advertising, and communications. At present, sir is with Della Group for about 2 years as head of corporate communications, where he's working with the chairman's office. So it's a pleasure having him with us today. Welcome once again. We'll be talking about mindset, and mindset. So, my first question to you, sir, we all wish to be intelligent. We pop up pills, what not we do. I would like to understand what is a sharp definition of mindset and in the current times how to have that
Okay.
positive mindset.
Okay. Mindset has many definitions, uh, but as I've seen in my experience, because I always like to share original content rather than content taken from the net and other people. And these are purely from my 30 years in various markets around the world. So, demystifying mindset, it is the set of your mind. It is how your mind is set. This is the simplified version of mindset. And what it simply means is the way we've been brought up, the different cultures we've been exposed to, the different experiences we've had, our genes, our place of birth, its geographies, its climate, everything else puts together a human mindset. So, mindset, let me leave you with this, is the way our minds are rigidly set to function. And how it is important in this COVID era is you hear a lot of depressions, you hear of a lot of people not knowing what to do. Uncertainty can do anything to anybody, Sandhya.
Yes,
If you are at a platform, Sandhya, and waiting for a train to go home, I'm talking about long distance with your bags and all of that. The minute you start hearing the train is late, that happiness that you have of going on a holiday starts diminishing because the frustration takes over. And if your mindset is that of anger, that you get angry soon, that starts coming out. So it's a change that we have to bring, all of us, in our mindsets. Because anybody who is positive as well, Sandhya, the positivity is subject to lessen when continuously faced with uncertainty, when continuously faced with what will happen to my life. We call it the danger zone, the mind's danger zone. So that's my answer to your question.
right. If we talk about communication world, why is
Yeah.
mindset important in the communication world, especially today?
Okay. Why it is important, especially today, it is the most important thing. Uh, Knowing the mindset of your target audience, making it all happen. But Sandhya, I just want to take 1 minute to tell you who the hell am I sitting here, privileged to be on your show, talking about mindset. What qualifies me? So I have launched Red Label tea, Brook Bond Red Label tea, as Suleimani tea in the Middle East. So that meant dealing with the mindset of the Arabs for whom Indian tea was nothing. I
Seriously.
have, yeah, yeah. So that's I have used mindset mapping to do that. Uh, the Anchor Milk Products from New Zealand Dairy Board. I was a marketing director for a while. Uh, getting people to accept New Zealand Dairy Board milk over Nestle, driving Nestle out of the market through emotional connect was a change of mindset that I did with my agency and a whole lot of people. And it involved bringing in a young model who was called the anchor mother. So that's the second example. The third example, Seychelles Marketing Board, getting Seychelles Marketing Board accepted. So I did 14 years in the Seychelles, worked for the president of the country. So that getting Seychelles Marketing Board accepted by the people in Seychelles who have a completely different mindset is another reason I'm here today. Because there were politics in it, merchants did not like a Seychelles Marketing Board sitting there. I'm being very, very quick. And of course, what everybody can relate to is the Bandra Valley ceiling. To get all factions of society, from fishermen to taxi operators, to to accept the Bandra Valley ceiling, and from the time it was a small clump of cement till the time I sat with my team briefing Sonia Gandhi for the inauguration, was a long journey of mindset. So mindset I treat as my specialty, and that's why I'm so passionate about this subject. And what
Right.
you were saying, what importance does it play in communications? So in the communications business, just changing perception in the mind is not enough. We do this in our business. We do perception audit. We do dipsticks, but we only scratch the tip of the iceberg. We never go. We just look at few questions. Are you aware of so and so product, so and so service? Have you used it? What does it? And question like this. But mindset mapping is, to give you an example, you are launching, say, in beautiful Assam, a product, knowing the mindset of the Assam people, which believe me is much more than attitude and culture. There's something called transitional mindset. One generation before and the current generation who is your customer. That really helps you see that move happen. If people believe and your target customer believe in your brand because of their mindset, you have a customer who will never flirt, will stay loyal to you.
Right. Sir,
That,
you have talked about perception audit. I think you also talked about mindset mapping. So I
yes,
think there's a very, very thin line. Many people don't understand. I would like you to talk very, very clearly and explain to our viewers. We often talk about perception audit in communication. Is it different to mindset mapping?
absolutely different. So our perception audit we do, like I mentioned, is very much on the surface. The questions we have to the people, whoever we are getting the audit, and for the wonderful viewers watching, I know I'm talking technical jargon between me and Sandhya, who's a great communications practitioner herself. So communications is what is called public relations. It is known in India about getting coverage, but it's much more than that. So in that,
Absolutely.
uh, when we launch a product, we go to the target audience. Let me make this a little more simple for you. Launching a new flavor of ice cream. Ice cream everybody loves, ice cream everybody knows. When you launch that, you go to representative sample groups of people, the children who consume the ice cream, the parents who are the gate, the media who talk about it, and we ask them a few questions. And we try to get to the bottom and find a gap which we can fill with the USPs of the product. But when we go into mindset mapping, say we are looking at Gujarat and Ahmedabad to launch the ice cream, you actually go into the minds of your customer. You actually get into their mind saying they are actually very rigid about milk itself. So I've done this exercise for New Zealand Dairy Board also. So they are actually very rigid. They only want cow's milk. They wanted boiled ones. Those things, if you put back to them in your communication, that we know people from Gujarat like pure milk, like milk that is boiled once. I'm just giving an example. Your ice cream will sell more because you're giving them
Right.
what they want. And
Absolutely.
similarly, the media will blow their bugle because that's their job. So that's
Right.
a minor difference. It's a more in depth. So in perception, you go about awareness, about gaps, about would they accept the new product category. In mindset mapping, you go into their outlook on the category. What are the people? What is their mindset about? Let me give you one example. Our cutting chai in Mumbai versus our kullad ka chai of UP versus that chai that we find in Kolkata, which is in the bhad, little different. And you go to South India, people don't even drink tea there; they drink coffee. So this, I hope, it has explained to you that what you do for South India vis-a-vis what you do for Amritsar are two
Will be
different things
different.
to get
So you
impact.
mean to say that communication will happen as per the mindset of that particular target
Absolutely,
group,
absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
Our audience must be thinking who our guest is. So definitely I'll introduce him. Sir started his career with the JWT Dubai. He worked with the ITC Hotels in India too. Then he moved to Sri Lanka as director marketing New Zealand Dairy Board. Sir gave couple of examples. What is the mindset of New Zealand Dairy Board and how do they communicate after understanding the mindset of the public? Very, very interesting. Now, after a 14 years successful assignment as head of corporate communications, HLS marketing board, sir also mentioned that where the president of the republic was the chairman of the state-owned parastatal, sir returns to India and worked with many leading communication agencies in senior positions. Uh, we are privileged to have you, sir. We can
It's my
quickly
pleasure.
look at two, three questions from the audience, please.
Yeah.
Sir, the first question is is change of mindset an easy task?
Look, mindset is not a pretense. People can pretend to be savvy. See, there's a self-image which people like to portray. They may love wearing shorts and t-shirts at home. When they go out, like me, they wear a suit. So I'm not saying I'm a fake, but there are people who put up fake personalities. But what you have in your mind never changes. So these are values like being a conservationist, very, very conservative person, holding on to culture, or being a rebel. So when you study that, you know your person inside out. If you notice, in every supermarket, big supermarket, India or abroad, when you check out, you have lot of tic tacs, you have lot of chocolates, you have that is because the mindset of the people is they get bored when they're standing in the line, and these impulse purchase products, as they are called, are available for them to buy, and it's a huge success. Some people, for example, I think Big Bazaar, for sure, they make 30% of the revenue out of those, which somebody is not planned, not there on the list. So this is the mindset mapping they have done. Now, mindset mapping is complicated, but you can do mindset mapping of your parents to get them to do what you want. There's a naughty angle to it also, girlfriend
Absolutely.
included, wife included. So, and if you mindset map your best friend or whoever else, you start mirroring them. When you mirror somebody, then it's easier to get along. There are no conflicts.
Right. You're absolutely right, sir. Developing the right mindset is very, very important, and it's an important ingredient to success in anything one does in life. The state of the mind
Absolutely.
can either lead to one to failure or success. And not only that, one's perception affects how one can act and react to information that gets to their mind.
Yeah, yeah,
We can
yeah,
look at
yeah.
second question. we'll have to quickly take up more and more questions because I can see there are many questions.
Yeah, sure.
Yes. Can we have the questions, please? Where does mindset come in changing for self improvement, sir?
Okay. Let me let you in on a secret. I don't know whether people know this, but there is something that is getting very popular now. It's called NLP, Neuro Linguistic Programming. You actually can program your brain for self improvement. So, people, please Google and check out, especially the person asking the question. But it has to be a conscious move. So, when you go on a diet, it's not easy, right? The more you put a restriction on yourself, oh, I can't eat this, I can't eat that, you start missing it more. So, change within oneself, if you want a real change within oneself, it needs willpower, it needs buying in, and it needs your mindset to change. That when I eat, I will hog. I will eat so much that I will burst. That mindset will change to I will eat to what I need. I will eat to what a little lesser. I will eat two chapatis lesser. This also is a mindset. So it can be done. There are professionals who do it. Like you go on to NLP and search. There are many professionals. You will go there and they will actually install this in your brain. So how they do it is through music. So self improvement, so that you don't have to make that effort come normally to you. So there's an
Okay,
example of a singer who couldn't remember, but can remember 3,000 songs at any time.
right.
Next question.
We have another interesting question from Arnav, and he asks how mindset differs from an entrepreneur point and a normal person.
When you say normal person, Arnav, I'm sure you mean salaried person, yeah? Or you must be meaning uh, an organization owner or whatever it is. An entrepreneur is a daredevil. An entrepreneur's mindset is risk. An entrepreneur's mindset is I will fail. The entrepreneur's mindset is I am a spider. My web will go. I will climb again. That's the mindset. But if you're a salaried individual, for example, where your salary comes whenever it comes, whichever date it is, then you will try your best to do your best to retain the job, but you will not take a risk. For an entrepreneur, his payday, he doesn't know when he will get paid. He knows only when he has to sign the checks to spend. And they're two very different mindsets. So an entrepreneur will learn much more, and an entrepreneur will learn every side. I'm sorry I'm giving this example, but I find Sandhya in an entrepreneur mindset. She is willing to take on everything, do everything. And there are other people, and other young entrepreneurs especially, they want to have the world. But salaried employees want to see how much they've reached in their PF, what better salary can they get. So the mindset is that of comfort, and the mindset of an entrepreneur is in the discomfort zone. That's the mindset. So
Right, sir.
salaried person, you ask a salaried person if they've tried being an entrepreneur. Many have, and they have quickly come back to the comfort of fifth salary is better for me.
Sir, I think I will ask you, rather, I'll take your consultation now. What kind of mindset should an entrepreneur have? Let me listen to it very, very carefully.
Yeah. So
Or maybe few tips.
yeah. No, see, everybody is not perfect. Often one gets into a venture, wanting adventure, dreaming big, but reality is not that. And if you are changing from a non-entrepreneurial mindset to an entrepreneurial mindset, you have to exercise your outlook in a completely different manner. Your outlook has to be that I will take dangerous steps. Does not matter. If I have to be the first one, if people give things in 4 hours, I will give in 1 hour. You have to shine above everybody else. There is only one way for any entrepreneur to succeed. So in Delhi, you have a thela and your samosas are so well known that Mercedes is coming past. It's what you give at the end of it all. And entrepreneurs have a big onus on that. Organizations, companies, people who are professionals, they also have it. But if entrepreneurs want to cover their basic cost only basic cost I'm talking about, you have to be so much better than anybody else. That is the key. That is the key message about the mindset of an entrepreneur. So
Right, right.
long hours, sacrificing things in life, not knowing where 5 years have passed by, very irritating people at home who say, why don't you shift and stay somewhere else? These are common things in the life of an entrepreneur.
It has happened with me for 1 year. I didn't talk to anybody.
The schedule you follow now, Sandhya, I don't know how you talk to anybody at all.
Yeah. So no, initially 6 months were quite tough. So I used to be awake till 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock for designing work. I think this lockdown gave me an opportunity to look at people. So I think
Right.
I don't know if it was bane for people, but I think for startups it was boon because we could work from home, we could save a lot of time, and I think another important thing, the mindset of people also changed that meetings can happen over Zoom. For just simple things, you don't need to go to their offices and just sit down and wait for the people for 4 hours. So I think it's all about work, and we have to look at processes how it can be done. Sir, my last question to you: how do you build sustainability mindset?
Yeah. This is important because say uh, you are changing the mindset of your target. So I'll go back to the same example of Gujarat and ice cream. You have to continuously hammer away, and that is called sustainability of change of a mindset. As you know, the human mind is forgetful. The human mind
Yes.
can flirt. It's the biggest flirt in the world. Completely not loyal to anything. Always looking for something better. Always looking for something new. So brand loyalty, product loyalty, if you want to build, you have to sustain with messages all the time. And those messages should not be that, hey, I'm there. It has to be a new facet. It's a little more difficult. A new facet that appeals to a mindset. So at one time, it can be something purely in Gujarati that the milk we use is just like your home. The other side, you have to come back with a surprising thing about a benefit in that because the Gujarati mindset likes maximum benefit and lowest prices. So this is the game. When you do that, then it becomes blind, and then the product becomes generic. Colgate is toothpaste. IBM stand for something. This is how when you reach that, whenever you think of the product category, it is you have that's where you end. But if it does end, I ask you one question back, Sandhya. If you end, then why does Coke spend so much of money every year? Why does Pepsi want to say, look at me, I'm better? Because it never ends. It's a never ending war for the share of the mind.
Right. So your final message to Turiya Communications and Turiya Talks team, please.
My final message is do not be a dinosaur. Even if you're a pretty dinosaur, don't be a dinosaur. And from what I have seen, Turiya Communications, you guys are very dynamic. Uh, the world has changed completely. Those days will never come back again, which you see in old serials and movies for anybody in the world. It's a new world. People say, Arey, I saw you on the road. Nowadays, people say, webinar mein dekha tha. Like you yourself pointed out. It,
Right.
yeah, it used to be that, shall we meet for dinner in so and so place? Now, do you know how people meet for dinner? Do you know, Sandhya, you must be knowing.
Yes.
Well, they do the same thing. They bring their food to the table and you have to sit and eat. have your food to the table, so we are having dinner together. We are having a drink together the same way. So how this affects us, our industry or any industry? Pattern of consumption is changing. Mindset has changed hugely. Hugely, everybody's got so used to staying at home that they come even in Zoom calls looking like a shaggy dog because no haircuts are allowed. There are ways to do it, but general slack steps in, and that is what one should avoid in anything that happens. Keep pace with changes. Changes are the only constant. Ride the wave of change, or suddenly you will find yourself in a deep sea somewhere far away.
Right.
And all the best for that, Sandhya.
Right. I think I can only say towards the end that COVID-19 pandemic has had a major effect on our lives. Most of us are facing challenges that can be stressful, overwhelming, and cause strong emotions in adults and children. So, if you have to understand how mindset can change your approach towards life, you can tune into Turiya Talks and watch this video. Don't watch it once, but try to understand things and read between the lines and try to get the message and try to implement it. Because through this platform, if we can help you stakeholders of the society, we'll be more than happy. And to sir, thank you for taking your time out, sir, and sharing your practical views and how it can help people. So thank you and see you in the next session of Turiya Talks. Till then, be safe, happy. But please do not forget to like, subscribe, and share your own Turiya Talks. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you, everyone.